Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz. Good morning. Happy Monday. Not Ethan or Sarah here. It is Grace, the brand manager, filling in while Ethan and Sarah are gone for just a couple of days. So they will be back later this week, but you got me for this morning. So let's go ahead and get into some news. The Rogers Police Department is mourning the loss of one of their officers who drowned in the Elk River on Saturday night. According to Rogers, Arkansas Police Chief Jonathan Best, Officer Fred Marsh, 24 years old, drowned in the Elk River while canoeing with his fiancée and friends. The incident was reported by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, which states that the drowning occurred on the river near Easy Street in Noel, Missouri, around 5:40 p.m. Troopers state that the 24-year-old man entered the water to attempt to assist another swimmer, and then he went under and did not resurface. Troopers recovered his body on Sunday morning. The chief said that Marsh was still in his first year of service with the department. Very, very tragic. The U.S. Department of Education launched a national initiative to investigate public school districts regarding how they handle and report allegations of sexual misconduct by staff against students. And Springfield Public Schools is included in that initiative. Springfield Public Schools was one of 20 districts nationwide selected for a directed investigation by the Office of Civil Rights. They selected these districts based off of their 2023-2024 civil rights data collection submissions. SPS is the only Missouri school system that is included. All the rest are in other states nationwide. Investigators are reviewing whether SPS maintains appropriate policies and procedures for conducting meaningful investigations, accurately collecting data, and prohibiting the transfer of suspected offenders. Districts found to be out of compliance with the Title IX and other federal protections risk losing their federal funding. So our friends at the Springfield Greene County Office of Emergency Management released a statement regarding the hailstorm that we had back in April. So following the hailstorm on April 28th, 2026, the Springfield Greene County Office of Emergency Management collected thousands of reports to send to state and federal agencies in hopes of receiving individual assistance to help Greene County residents and business owners with recovery costs. FEMA denied the request. However, the U.S. Small Business Administration announced the availability of low-interest federal disaster loans to Missouri businesses, private nonprofits, and residents to offset physical and economic losses from the severe storms. The declaration covers the Missouri counties of Christian, Dade, Dallas, Greene, Lawrence, Polk, and Webster. Businesses and nonprofits are eligible to apply for business physical disaster loans and may borrow up to $2 million to repair or replace disaster damaged or destroyed real estate, machinery and equipment, inventory, or other business assets. Homeowners and renters are eligible to apply for home and personal property loans and may borrow up to $100,000 to replace or repair personal property such as clothing, furniture, cars, and appliances. Homeowners may apply for up to $500,000 to replace or repair their primary residence. Now, if you've got any questions, beginning tomorrow, July 22nd, SBA customer service representatives will be on hand at the Greene County Disaster Loan Outreach Center at the Greene County Public Safety Center to answer questions about the loan program, explain the application process, and help an individual complete the application if needed. Walk-ins are welcome, and in-person appointments can be scheduled in advance at appointment.sba.gov. So if you've got a lot of damage you're still dealing with from that hailstorm, that is something to look into. A new center offering mental health resources and housing for veterans officially opened on Friday afternoon in Harrison, Arkansas, after 3 years of trying to get it all together and securing the land and funding. The Warriors Retreat, which includes apartments, was built on the belief that all veterans should have a place to call home. The Arkansas Department of Veteran Affairs says that it hopes solutions like Warriors Retreat will grow beyond Harrison. Plans are underway to complete a community center and outdoor space at the Harrison location. Officials are also exploring the potential campus in Northwest Arkansas. Applications are now open to all U.S. veterans who need a place to call home. That is very awesome. I love it. And I really hope that someone branches it out in Missouri for sure. Keep Supply had a ribbon cutting, roughly a year after moving downtown to a temporary space. A Springfield-based industrial parts and equipment distributor is setting into its newly renovated building. Keep Supply held that ribbon cutting on July 16th. And it marks, they're on the square. So if you know where the 117 Park Central Square building is, they are filling mostly 2 floors. They're about 1.5, I think it seems like. Approximately 150 of the 160 employees will work at that new headquarters off of the square downtown. Keep Supply distributes industrial refrigeration parts and equipment for food, beverage, chemical, and pharmaceutical manufacturers domestically and internationally. It's a really big, cool company that is right here in Springfield. The headquarters opening just comes a few months after Keep Supply debuted their 25,000 square foot fulfillment center that's in the Republic area. President Drake Hughes says that he's excited to be downtown and there's only more growth to come. So very, very cool to see a business like that headquartered in Springfield. And national news, Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, Second Lady Usha Vance, on Sunday announced that they had their 4th child. The firstborn child, this is the coolest part. It's the first child born to a sitting vice president in more than 150 years. So, born on Sunday, Alec Neil Vance joins his older siblings, 9, 6, and 4. So, 4th child for the Vance family. Very, very cool. All right. If you live, work, or play downtown, the Downtown Springfield Association wants to hear from you. They're undergoing some strategic planning for their organization in downtown. So they want to know your perspective, ideas, and experience, and they are ready to listen to just kind of see how they can help out downtown. So it is a free event, but you do have to RSVP. And it's at the Regency Live downtown today at 3 p.m. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the Downtown Springfield Association's Facebook page. They've got information there. And finally, to close us out, it's going to be really hot this week, like very, very hot. So make sure you stay tuned for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer and just get some tips from her on how to stay cool and just kind of what's expected. It's the heat of the summer, guys. We are in it. And so make sure you listen to Abby Dyer, and I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope that you have a great Monday. It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine, Whole Hog Cafe, Taylor Grubauer Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. It is going to be a hot one across the Ozarks as we kick off the new work week. I hope you had a great weekend across the Ozarks. It was a bit on the warm and muggy side, but overall, a nice weekend in the Ozarks. A few of you got some showers and storms yesterday afternoon and evening. Heavy downpours where they happened, but it did not happen everywhere in the Ozarks. Most of that activity up in central Missouri, in fact, yesterday afternoon. Conditions today, well, they're starting off warm. We're already in the mid-70s on this Monday morning, and it's going to warm up fast. I have 94 degrees for the high temperature today and a heat advisory that will go into effect at 1 p.m. So the heat kind of crosses a threshold today into the dangerous territory. Not only do we have a really hot heat index value, but we also have a super high UV index. Be cautious if you have to spend time outdoors this afternoon, and then heat intensifies as we head into Tuesday. So we are not done with the rain and heat, muggy conditions as we head into this week's forecast. There's also a small rain chance in the forecast this afternoon. It's this daily opportunity for thunderstorms. Basically, the atmosphere just has so much moisture in it that daytime heating, it's pretty easy to get the storms going and for some brief heavy downpours to occur. I think that's the exception, though, rather than the rule. We won't see a whole lot in the way of coverage in terms of rainfall as we head into this afternoon. The bigger story is the heat index with values between 100 and 110. 10 today. Basically, each day we are going to see our high temperatures climb into the mid 90s. There could be a few folks that get close to 100 too for that actual high temperature, with heat index values near 110. So be prepared for persistent temperatures with pop-up showers and thunderstorms each afternoon this week, and temperatures that get a little bit better by the middle of the week. Heat advisory goes into effect today at 1 o'clock and it runs through 7 p.m. tomorrow. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and dehydration are possible in these types of hot temperatures. Never leave kids or pets in the car for any period of time in this type of weather. It gets way too hot too quickly. Be sure to drink plenty of water if you have to be outside today, and take some breaks in the shade or the air conditioning. Even better if you can get inside and cool down a bit. The heat advisory runs through tomorrow evening, as I mentioned. And then as we get into Wednesday, we start to see a more seasonable pattern. It's still going to be hot, summertime, late July in the Ozarks. That's typically what happens, but we will see those temperatures even out a bit. And rain chances get a little bit better by late Thursday into Friday. That rain should be more widespread and help to cool us down. Around the country, there's a whole lot making headlines. Of course, the smoke from the Canadian wildfires impacting the Great Lakes, that's going to be the big story over the next couple of days. We've also got thunderstorms from the northern plains to the mid-Atlantic, and hazardous heat is happening from the northern plains to the lower mid-Mississippi Valley. All of that's happening while a tropical depression has developed in the Gulf. That's bringing heavy rain today to much of the northeast Gulf Coast. That will be ongoing for that region as we head into tomorrow. So very active across the country with multiple hazards, extreme heat. We've got thunderstorms, we've got wildfire smoke, and we've got tropical depressions all at once. So what a way to start a new week in July in the USA. Weather-wise, it's very busy. All right, here's a look at the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question that I had for you, if you remember on Friday, it was this. What is the name of the legendary near continuous atmospheric phenomenon in Venezuela where lightning flashes up to 280 times per hour, nearly 300 nights a year over the mouth of a single river? Do you think it is A, the Orinoco Flash, B, the Catatumbo Lightning, C, the Maracaibo Beacon, or D, the Andes Fire? Are you familiar with this? If you were, you would have guessed B, the Catatumbo Lightning. This is an incredible phenomenon that occurs strictly over the mouth of the Catatumbo River, where it empties right into the Lake Maracaibo. The local geography creates this kind of perfect storm setup in that specific area where warm, moist trade winds blow over the Caribbean and kind of pool over the warm waters of the lake. This crashes directly into the freezing walls of the surrounding Andes Mountains, and this forces the warm air to shoot violently upward, generating these massive, near perpetual thunderclouds that produce intense lightning. The storm is so consistent and bright that it has been used as a natural lighthouse by sailors for centuries. It earned the nickname the Lighthouse of Maracaibo. So, congrats if B was your answer. Here's the next chance to win. What is the specific name for the rare tubular cloud formation stretching up to 600 miles long that regularly rolls across northern Australia's Gulf of Carpentaria? I wanted to say that right. Like a giant horizontal log. Do you think it is A, the morning glory cloud, B, the roll cloud wave, C, the outback tube, or D, the southern squall? You can let me know your guess. That's at the website. It's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much for listening this morning, and big shout out to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Whole Hog Cafe, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Have a great one. I'll be back here to chat with you first thing tomorrow morning. Stay cool.